I want to share 6 ways that the average American can become a millionaire. Let's dive into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So guys, I want to talk to you guys today real quick about 6 ways that the average American citizen can become a millionaire in their lifetime. So let's dive into it. According to a recent report, 6.6% of us living in the U.S. are millionaires. But if you were not born into a wealthy family, how can you make it happen for you? Let's talk about it. Number 1, guys, they avoided debt at all costs. Most millionaires eliminate all their debt besides a mortgage on their home. That means they're not carrying credit card debt from month to month. They're not financing cars, TVs, motorcycles, vacations, things like that. They do everything within their power to pay off their debt as soon as humanly possible. People that's trying to become millionaires, guys, do not carry debt. Everyday millionaires do not carry debt. Or I should say they don't carry bad debt. They may have rental property, commercial real estate, things of that nature. They may have a business, but they don't run up credit card debt. They're not out here financing cars every other year, trading in every other year. They're not taking out personal loans. They're not wasting their money on non-essential things. They are intentional about their money. They're intentional about their saving. They're intentional about their investing. Number 2, they're not trying to keep up with the Joneses. Everybody knows what that means. They're not trying to impress anyone. They're not trying to keep up with neighbors, friends, family. They don't care about keeping up with the Joneses. They live by their standards and their standards alone, and they live within their means. They're not trying to keep up with the Joneses. They live within their means. Average everyday millionaires, when they buy a car, they don't finance their cars. They pay cash for nice, quality, used cars. They spend 10, 15, 20 grand on nice, solid, used cars. And they drive these cars for at least a decade. Guys, they're not going to the car lot financing $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 vehicles. Average everyday millionaires are not doing this. They're not. They are paying cash for good, decent, solid cars. And they drive these cars for at least a decade. Number 4, they build an emergency fund. Guys, do you know 50% of Americans do not have $500 liquid for an emergency in 2024? Do you know 60% of Americans cannot come up with $1,000 liquid in case of an emergency? Guys, we have got to start saving some type of liquid cash. Right now, no one has any type of emergency fund in 2024. Most middle-class Americans do not have emergency funds set up right now. They're living paycheck to paycheck. But if they had emergency funds, they would not be in the financial situations they are in right now with debt and having to rely on debt to survive in 2024. An emergency fund is 3 to 6 months of emergency expenses. And you want to have 3 to 6 months of emergency expenses in case of a job loss. So if you were to lose your job, you can still operate your home without having to go use credit until you was able to land another job. That's the main focus of an emergency fund. And to also take care of big ticket repairs, like a car repair. If you're a homeowner, a washer goes out, a dryer goes out, a stove goes out, plumbing issue. You have the money to take care of those items without having to go into debt on credit cards. So average everyday millionaires, they keep an emergency fund. Number 5, they use employer sponsored savings and investing. They invest in their employer's 401k plan. They take advantage of these plans, and they at least invest up into the match. I say invest more, even if you're getting a match. Like my employer matches in our 401k dollar for dollar up to the first 5%. But I still invest 20% into my company's sponsored 401k plan, because I'm able to do that because I don't have any other debt. So I'm able to max out my company's 401k plan. And if I don't exactly max it out, I'm very close to maxing it out, because I'm putting in over $20,000 a year into my company's sponsored 401k plan. So everyday millionaires, they take advantage of these employee sponsored retirement accounts, and they take advantage of those to build their wealth. And number 6, they invest outside of work also. And I'm going to give you an example of this. I also have a brokerage account that I invest in through Vanguard. So I have my company sponsored 401k plan, and I also have a brokerage account through Vanguard, which I invest into the S&P 500 index fund in my brokerage account. Nice, easy, set it, forget it, and let it build. You know, S&P 500 has been in existence over 100 years. I trust the fund. It's growing. When I first started investing into the S&P 500 index fund, I think it was around 1,700 points. Now, the S&P 500 closed today at over 5,400 points. And it also has a high in 2024 of over 5,600 points. So it's a good thing to say, I know I've made money over the last few years that I've been investing into this index fund through Vanguard. So guys, let me run through those real quick one more time. 6 ways that the average American citizen that can become an everyday millionaire. They do their best to avoid debt. They avoid debt at all costs. They don't care about keeping up with the Joneses. They live at their means. Number 3, when they purchase a car, they buy a nice, used, solid car, and they drive it for over a decade, spending somewhere from 10 to 20 grand for it, cash. Number 4, they build an emergency fund, so they have liquid cash for emergencies. Number 5, they use employer-sponsored retirement accounts. And number 6, they invest outside of their employer-sponsored retirement accounts, like opening a brokerage account and also investing into that. So guys, those are 6 steps that the average American can become an everyday millionaire. Again, guys, please like the video, share the video, and most important, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, Frank Talks Money. I really would appreciate the support. And remember, guys, financial decisions you make today will impact your financial life tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Frank Talks Money. I'm out.